first thing we're going to cook is beer braised short ribs. We figured we were coming to Texas. We had to cook with a little bit of beer.
We're going to start with the middle pot. I turned the heat all the way up, and this is just a little bit of canola oil that we're putting into the pot. When you go to your butcher to talk to him about short ribs, they might try to give you these little ones like this. Just tell them no. You know what I mean? Say, no, I'm here in Texas. I need something a little bigger like this, right? Salt, our best friend. What you're going to do is go ahead and season your meat. Super important. A lot of chefs, I'm sure if you went to some of these other tents and they're seasoning their meat, it's salt and pepper, right? Well, that's a perception that I think a lot of cooks in America have taken too far. Pepper's actually a seasoning, so it's going to add heat. For this dish, we're not looking to add any heat besides without the crushed red chili. So that's where we're going to get our heat.
So you're just going to get a little caramelization on the meat. Kind of helps build the flavor a little bit.
And this is actually one of the most important parts is searing your meat.
Besides letting it cook long enough, so it actually...
Which is also just as important as searing the meat, because if you don't let it cook enough, eating a short rib is like eating leather when it's not cooked right. And everybody's shaking their head out there because somebody served them leather one time, right? If you can see, I'm actually flipping them. I'm searing all sides of the meat, which is super important to make sure that you get all the sides of the meat completely seared. You see I'm using the sides of the pot to kind of lean the meat up there to get the side parts. What's fun about this dish when it's actually completed is this is just a base to so many different things. I mean, like tonight we're doing Rock Your Taco. If we wanted to do short ribs, we could just braise it off just like this and then do it, put it on a tortilla. We have it as a short rib taco, right? So now what you do is actually take the short rib out of the pan. Right?
So the next few things all just go basically into the pot. These are actually turnips. It's one of the harder vegetables, so it's going to go in first. Carrots, onions. Next, we're going to go with the whole garlic cloves. You could chop them if you want. We don't want to.
Or slice them.
Next, we're going to put the shiitake mushrooms in. So these actually almost become like the short ribs. They braise in there and they absorb a lot of the liquid. Really amazing flavor in those.
You want to cook this. You want to start to kind of sweat this down. You allow it to get a little bit of color. Not hammered, but a little bit of color. A little golden brown. You want to stir it up.
You could use dried mushrooms too in this. If you wanted, you could use dried shiitakes. You could turn this into if you wanted to, a vegetable-driven dish. It could be vegetarian for all purposes. It could be just root vegetables and mushrooms. And
we have our vegetables now been cooked off a little bit. All right, Vin, you got to go with the other stuff so I can put the meat back in.
The next stage is we're going to add some brown sugar, a little sweetness, a little bit of soy sauce, a little saltiness. Notice that we didn't season this with salt again. We just seasoned the short ribs. That's kind of really important because the soy sauce adds a lot of salt to it. Crushed red chili.
That's our heat right there. That's why we didn't put black pepper.
Different flavor. So than black pepper. I like it a little spicy personally. Star anise, good anisey flavor. Let's go for all of it. Screw it.
Right. That's what I'm saying too.
Ketchup, the secret ingredient of our cooking.
I can't believe you just gave that out. And now there's actually two other things that we need to add to this pot. First, pipe stock, right? Pipe stock. One of the easiest things to make. Most people have it at their house. Not everybody does. Sucks if you don't because you can't wash your hands. Beer, right? Yeah. That's what makes it a real party. So now you want to kind of stir it up, make sure all the ketchup and stuff. And you see I'm not using a whisk. I'm just using the same pair of tongs. Why? Because I'm lazy. I don't want to wash a lot of dishes. I'm keeping this really simple, really basic. I take the short ribs, I put it back into the liquid.
That's it.
That's it. Super easy, right? You get yourself one of these lids, too. Make sure you turn the temperature from high down to simmer. Check it occasionally. Make a look at it, right? It's going to take, the piece of meat that big is probably going to take about 4 hours. So you started it. What time is it right now? Well, if it was 12:20, these would be ready at 4:20. How about that? That's a one-pot party right there. That's a one-pot party.